Hello, good morning, guys. It's GMAX from GMAX Studios, right here in the beautiful world of Photoshop. Okay, if you're new to my channel, please do well to like, do well to subscribe, do well to share. Today, I'm going to be working on this image. I actually dropped this image some time ago for admin that are willing to try out this image, and for those of us that look to try out this image also, there'll be a link below where you can actually download this image and work on it by yourself following the tutorial. And in case of any noise you hear in the background, it is actually noisy where I am, and also I'm having a running noise, so pardon me and follow along. Alright, today I'm going to be working on this image. Particularly what we're doing today is how we retouch this image. Also a new technique that I'll be showing you today is skin toning, particularly how to blend your skin tone and to get that even out skin tone. So without waste of time, let's get into the video. So first of all, I want to create my frequency separation layer. I will duplicate my layers too, and then I will name this one high frequency, that's the HQ, right? And I will name this one the low frequency, LQ. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to off this my high frequency, and then I would go over to blur. I'll go over to Gaussian blur. Now note that the higher your blur, the more texture you preserve on your high frequency. So when I'm trying to pick my frequency separation blur, my first blur, I call it my first blur, I will actually zoom into the image and want to see what my textures are like. Not to worry about the big textures. I would, in this particular tutorial, I would be showing another method of how to remove your blemishes even if you've already started your frequency separation, which we're doing that on our high frequency. Now note that your high frequency is for your textures and your low frequency is for your color. That is why it's your high frequency and your low frequency. So when you combine the two of them, it now forms to give you one image. So at the end of the day, know that the amount of blur you add to your image also determine the amount of texture that is preserved in your high frequency, or amount of texture that is being preserved. And when you're choosing your blur, it shouldn't be just one figure, because from many tutorials we watched before this time, we get to hear, okay, use 5, but many a times we are not using the same type of camera. Many people use high pixel camera and most use low pixel camera, so you can't compare the two of them to give you the same kind of result and the same amount of blur you'll be using for both of them. So for all of these put into consideration, then we'll have to pick our blur depending on the image we are working on per time. So alright, we'll go ahead and pick our first blur looking at our image that we are working on. Okay, and for this image I'm going to be looking at let's see which I will be selecting. I'm looking at my entire image. This is 3.8. Okay, so I will use 4.5. I think this is okay, so I could still retain some texture. And then I'll go over to my high frequency, and then I will, on the visibility of my high frequency, I'll go to image, I'll go to apply image. This is the process of creating frequency separation. Then I'll go to this my layers here. I'll change these layers to low frequency. I'll select on this that I applied the blur, the low frequency that I applied the blur, and then I'm going to have this texture. So if you can see here, this line that is being outlined here is telling you that okay, this is for your texture. So the next thing I'll do is I'll come to my blending option. Normally most time to be on normal, so I'll change it to subtract, and then my scale to offset 128, and I'll click OK. I'm good. Then I'll go to this my blending option. I'll change this to linear light. Alright, once I'm done with that, we have been able to create our frequency separation. So I'll just group this into one group. So I'll select both of them, and then I will group it. I would hold my shift, and then I'll either my shift or my control, and then click the second one, and I'll drag it all the way down here, and I will group it. I'll name this group FQ, that's frequency separation. Okay, I think we're good. So I'll open back my group, and then the next thing I'll do is I would want to brush on my skin. But like I explained in my videos, why I off my high frequencies, because I want to see my skin tones how they fall in both the highlight, shadows and mid-tones. So I will do that now. I off my high frequency. If you're new to my channel, please do well to like, do well to subscribe, and don't forget, lastly, comment, so that this video will be able to reach more people out there. Okay, so I will just create a new layer and then I'll brush. So how I'll do that is, for me, I'll be using my wet 10, my load 14, my mix 14, my flow 14, and then I will use this guy at 10 and I'll change this to 0, and I will unsample all layers. So I will be, this sample all layer means that, okay, it's going to be sampling from the layers that are visible to apply on these are empty layers. If we don't do this, at the end of the day, we will not be able to brush on the empty layer for it to be active. So I have ticked that, so I'm allowed to go on with my brushing. Okay, so straight up I would start the process now. So now, remember very well that in my previous videos I think I've explained what frequency separation is and how you can actually work with your frequency separation. Okay, so you watch what I will be doing. For this skin tone, I'll be very careful because it's looking very difficult. Many have tried and they had amazing results, but I think we can do justice to this. We can do better. There's more to what was already done, so that's what we're trying out today, to see how we can get amazing results too. So I'll just brush this. Now remember that when you're brushing your frequency separation, you should be mindful of your tones. When you're brushing on your lighter tones, you don't want to mix it with your lower tones or your mid tones or your shadow. So one way or the other, there are times you have to reduce your brush to be able to keep the tones where they are. So for those of us that tried doing the frequency separation on this, take note on how I will be doing my frequency separation. If you're interested in having a masterclass, a one-on-one masterclass, yes, we offer that service, online masterclass. So you can hit me on my DM, and then we are now on Instagram. We were able to recover back our old account. So please, if you want to follow us on IG, just go over to GMAX and you will get to see us there. Right now, we're just trying to upload back our images because it was hacked. We're able to get it back. So our pictures were all deleted. So we're trying to just get our images back to our page. So in case you're seeing some low quality kind of images, please don't feel bad. It's just us posting our old works before we start posting our recent works. So yes, I'm just doing justice to this. I hope my voice is not too much of a distraction, but I'm trying not to allow this to be boring. See the way I'm taking my time to blend out the blemishes. I'll be looking at my skin, how the tones are falling, and then I'll just go back to blend them again to get that smooth transition. Okay, sorry about that. I'm having a runny nose. I just had to do this video so that my followers out there would still get to learn as much as possible. Okay, so I will take my time and brush on the nose so that I won't lose the shape of the nose. So in most cases, there are times I'll have to reduce my brush and increase my brush to be able to fit in with the shape of the nose, not to let it go flat. So you have seen how this is the before and this is the after. Seal on it. So I'll just come here, I'll use my brush and then I'll gradually brush it to blend all these areas. Today I particularly wanted my image to be softer. So for those of us that like hard texture, you can as well just take your blur a bit up and use a higher figure for your blur to be able to get a better result or a more sharper image. Everything depends on the photographer and depends on what you want or what you're trying to achieve. Whether it is lower than mine or it is higher than mine, all we're looking for is best results you can get. So we'll just go over to the neck, and if you notice over the neck here, I'm not blending and covering the tones. I want that shadow stop there, so that we'll be able to differentiate where the neck is and where the face is, or where the neck starts and where the face stops. So I'll just off this again and then I'll get to brush again. So I'm trying my possible best to make this video as short as possible, but notwithstanding, I would not want to rush it too much so that you won't get lost along the line. So just try follow me step by step and you would also get this amazing result that we'll be getting today. Like I would say, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget, do well to like, do well to subscribe, and do well to share. YouTube is a very big place. If you don't subscribe, you might tend to lose up on the channel and subscribe. Like, drop a comment for us. Meanwhile, last few weeks I've been in Calabar, and Calabar has been pretty amazing. I enjoy myself pretty well. I was able to host the creative makeup photo splash with my friend Peculiar Media STUDIOZ, and my friend, a special makeup artist, a lover of creative art, Mercy, CEO, Hot Eyes Makeover. Most of the pictures we'll be using to do tutorials on how you could manipulate creative makeups. So stuff like how you retouch creative makeup, because you don't retouch the creative makeup the way you retouch just the normal makeup, less you will lose detail on a lot of things, especially on the face. So for this part here, I might as well crop all this part out, but because it's part of the video, we'll just brush it in. So let's create a part for our highlight first of all. While you brush, most of the time you want to remember where your shadows will be falling, where your midtones will be falling and where your highlights will be falling. So you can use your mixer brush to create a path. So even without doing dodge and burn, you can actually create a path for your tones where they'll be falling, so that you won't lose out on anything. So everything how we're able to create that beautiful blend on the skin. So let's just blend a little bit. I'm seeing this harsh hard line here. I want it to be softer. Let it blend in. Let it go in a little bit. Let it go in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I'll just brush on the neck and see that it is blended out too. That we are getting a great result too. And note that I wasn't able to do a lot of camera raw on this image because it was sent by a photographer, which from what he said, he had done this image some time ago, but still wasn't satisfied. So he just had it in his phone and wanted to just send it so I could work on it and see what I get. So it was actually a JPEG format that was being sent. So it's what we're going to be using. That's what we're using. Alright. So just under and then get to see what it looks like. Okay. So Allah will be able to blend this skin tone. Okay. Alright. So for now we'll be able to retouch this image. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be skin toning this image. Okay, now like I said earlier, I'm going to show you guys how to actually blend the tones of an image. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an empty layer. Then I'll get my brush tool. Okay, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to even out the tones. We're having a lot of darker tones down here, which is not blending with the face and all. I think this is more or less a natural look. So how can we get this natural look still looking beautiful and have this glowing skin? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my brush and then I would go over to my colors over here and then I would sample. Now see what this does. If yours doesn't give this circular form, also you can look at this point here. You see how you're able to sample on the color. Now for me, I would advise that you sample out a lighter tone, not as dark as this. So you sample out a lighter tone from the face that you use to blend the rest of the skin. That will be able to give you the result you want. So for me, I would pick around, okay, I'm trying to pick, have a chocolate feel but something lighter. Okay, I think I'm fine with that. So once I've picked that, you see the color here. I can as well see if I want to tweak it a little bit. I want to have this glow, I can so I'll just draw it a little bit upward to see what I get. So I'll click OK on it. Then I'll pick up my brush. I'll reduce my flow to as low as 5. Then I'll start brushing on the place I will want to fix. Now see how I'm able to get that looking at light tones. So just carefully brush on the place you're trying to fix. If you're trying to fix. So I'll just brush here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just brush on the skin here to here, this side, and then I'll come over to the neck, and then I'll just brush over this side and all of this side. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I'll come over to the side and then I'll just brush. All I'm trying to do is just blend the skin tone, right? Okay, so let's blend that skin tone. So I'm getting a more even out skin tone. Okay, so let's just follow that. Don't worry about brushing outside, except maybe stuff like this place, but if it's outside we can always mask it to the skin to get what we want, so that it won't spill outside. So if it's spilling outside, don't worry about that. I think that can be fixed. So let's just try to even out those tones. So now yes, it looks ugly and looks roughed up. Well, to get that evened out skin tone. Yes. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this to the skin. So I'll just go back to my background layer and then I'll click on this mask icon here, this selection icon here, and then I'll click select subject. So the system will automatically help me select this subject. Okay, it's done now. So all we just do is we're going to select on this and then just mask it. So you've seen we've selected it in image. Now it looks kind of terrible, yes, not to worry about that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this my new layer here, and then I would go over to my blend if. Now in this blend if we have this underlining layer, I'm going to draw this underlining layer all the way up here to see how my shadows and my highlights are. So I've been able to see that okay, these are my shadows, these are my highlight. I'm going to blend it now. I'm going to hold my alt and then I'm going to drag on one side of this. Voila, see how it's going to blend, and then let's just draw this a little bit and see what we get. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to show you something. So this is like a before, this is like the after. I'm going to reduce this a little bit downward to take it to 70. So voila, see how we're able to even out this skin tone. So I remain my humble self, GMAX from GMAX Studios. Please, if you know you've learned something from this video, please do well to like, do well to subscribe, and don't forget, lastly, share to your friends. Recommend this channel as much as possible, and each and every time we post a video, please make it a point of duty to comment on our videos to help these videos reach more people. Once again, thank you for watching. Until we see again, I remain your host, GMAX on GMAX Studios.